guys, it's Christina at Scrapcraft and Stitchery, and I am working on, again, label for the 50 stack challenge, and this is the second day. I have done tissue paper gnomes, which I don't know, I think they're cute. I also think they could be a little bit confusing if I didn't tell you these were gnomes, like, you know, 180 degrees from each other. Maybe you wouldn't know. I need to smash this under a book because it is kind of wrinkled, but I think they're a little bit darling. I love this guy's curly cute beard here. He's got something stuck to him. I think they're rather darling, and I'm gonna continue with the gnomes theme and see what else we can do. I like this hat. This hat looks a little bit like maybe it was, he's kind of a rumply kind of a guy anyway. He's got some rumply stuff going on. Anyway, I think they're cute. I'm gonna try gnomes in a different way. So I have this other card, and I'm gonna make, I think, 3 gnomes out of these paper strips. And they're just gonna be kind of tall and thin, and we'll have to make sure we're leaving, because this will be their body, is the idea. So what I'm thinking is we can have some of these paper strips provide the body, and then we can give them some fun little hats. And again, I might try and make these fairly basic without faces or anything. Maybe we'll have them have faces. I don't know. I haven't quite decided. I'm still figuring this out. Thanks for joining me here. Again, I am really enjoying the 50 stack challenge and making all these journal cards, and they're just kind of fun, and I play around and spend so much time making them. It's delightful. It's delightful. I'm having a great time doing this. So what I'm thinking is, I mean, all we really need here is, and then we'll have like a hat. I don't know what to put in the background of this card, honestly. I feel like it needs something. This is like this embossed paper, and it is embossed on the back. This could be the back of the card. I'm not really sure. Anyway, kind of going along and doing that. I hope it is Saturday here. I made it through a week that was a week. Made it through another week. Congratulations to all of us for arriving here. I have to say, I am we can also use some of this tissue paper on this, since it's still out and it's still here. I kind of like this idea of tearing this down into a rectangle shape for the hats. How's that? And then beards are probably going to be something along the very same line. I love these colors together. I just have a cup full of these paper strips that I've cut off. So this is a great scrap busting kind of a move on my part. You see how these are shaping out to be like, the only thing is I really kind of want to work on how to make these things actually look like a little bit more like a gnome. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So we're gonna build on this idea as we go along, right? These guys, I mean, he's cute. This guy is cute. And this guy, I mean, I love his swirly beard here. When I look in the camera, I can't tell. Everything is kind of like weird. So I kind of like, don't know where things are at. And I love to like point in the camera and make sure that I'm in frame and all of that. And it's way over there. And that's how I spend most of my days, just like looking. Oh, look at that. It just changes it. It changes it so much if you look in the camera sometimes. Anyway, I like how these came out, and I want to build on this because I was kind of looking at them last night while I was making them and going, I don't know if you can really tell what's going on here. Part of that's because I decided to make triangles going in them. So, one of the things I think we might do is actually put a little head in here, and we can do that by utilizing this. And then we'll just have to draw a little face. I think that'll work. We can do this. We can do this. It's okay. I think I might leave these kind of blocky, and then we'll just fill it in with their... Okay, we're going to do 3, so I'm just going to rip off these guys, because this is going to be kind of their... Maybe this one guy over there on the right, maybe he has a really big head, so we'll give him a little bit bigger head. And sorry, it's Saturday, and the lawnmower's running outside, which is super awesome because the backyard's getting cleaned up. Yay! And I have to say, we've only mowed our lawn like an embarrassingly few number of times this year. But that's okay. Mostly we just have weeds out there. So I'm just tearing a little circle that's going to be a head. I think this is going to work. And I want to use one of these darker colors. For the body. There you go. These are going to be cute. This guy has a big head. We decided. He's got a big head. Fun, fun, fun. I do think maybe we'll stick with using the tissue paper for the beards, because I think that will be fun. And you could put like his head on sideways. I'm gonna put it on that way, I think. I think we're gonna put his head on that way. And then, ta-da! This just seems like a fun kind of a little bit of a Halloween craft. I might decide to rip very carefully the edges off of their little coats. If I decide they have too much in the way of shoulders. But we can also just kind of cover that up with their... I think we can also just kind of cover that up with their beards. They're going to have big old beards. Right? I do like the idea of them having kind of rounded bodies. Alright, that's kind of the gnome shape, right? They're round kind of guys. Round. Not sticks. Right now we have sticks. How are we going to fix this? What do you think? Blue? I think blue might be nice. I wonder if I have a darker green. I can go back over there and see what else I have. I was actually thinking this orange might be kind of nice and blend into that. I don't know if I like that blue with this paper. Or the yellow. Or, okay, let's try every one. I'm gonna use this one. It does kind of blend into the background, and you know what? It's totally okay. It's totally okay. So I am actually gonna cut these at the bottom. Willy-nilly without really measuring. He got much taller than we thought, but that's okay. I do think I'm gonna kind of rip down the sides of these and kind of make them a little bit an idea of rounded, especially at the shoulders there. Because they look just, they're so blocky for me. It's just killing me here. So I'm gonna kind of at least rip these corners round. But I want them to be ever so slightly not as round, not as, yes, definitely rounded at the top. And it's, I mean, their beards are gonna come and they're all gonna have little beards. I haven't even gotten out labels yet, guys. I'm just not there yet. But I'm feeling like there might be a label that says Gnome Sweet Gnome. Is that terrible? Terrible? Okay, that right there. Okay. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Let's finish this. Let's get this going, and I'm gonna cut that right there. This is not an exact science by any means. I could, you know, get a pencil or a pen and mark these, but I'm just gonna eyeball them about where I want them because I don't think it really, really truly matters. I always kind of feel like, oh look, I'm stash busting because I pulled out these scraps that have been sitting over there on my desk behind me for a long time. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to use up some little tiny bit of it. I do sometimes say, oh, if I've gotten it out, I now have to figure out how to use the rest of this. I shouldn't make that. I don't have time for that today. The rest of these are going to go back into my bucket. But I have touched them, so maybe I'll come back. Maybe I will now start thinking about a way to go through all these, like, just like, what, 1-inch strips that I have? There we go. Now we're talking. Fun with gnomes. I don't know why this artisan journal prompt, it just kind of, it gets in there, and I kind of, like last week was like, yeah, I need to spend a week working on with the color orange, and now I just want to do like all these gnomes. It's totally me. It's me. I could just be like, gnomes, okay, do a sketch of a gnome, but I don't know, it kind of gets in my mind, and I want to play with it for like, it's partially just, I think I like repetition. I really do like repetition and repeating something. I love that the little guy has a big head. Okay. A lot more is okay. What are we hitting? Okay. So I need hats for these guys. And what do I have? This could be a nice beard. I do feel like we haven't used this gray. So let's go ahead and use the gray, because that looks like a nice woolly gray hat. This also has me a little bit wanting to knit hats. Okay. So that I can be the gnome. I'm doing too many challenges. I'm gonna try and get through October and get the ones for October that I have decided to jump in all of a sudden, as one does, if one is me. I'm just kind of looking like that. If the beard, I'm gonna put this over here as this beard. I'm just trying to see what this is gonna look like. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be cute. Okay, but that is a hat, in fact. Only it's wide enough for his head. Hats are not wide enough. Okay, wide hat for the last one. From the colors that we have this orange. I guess it's the blue. I think it's the blue. I could do this yellow, but I want to do something that's going to really kind of stand out a little bit more. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to leave all that width there because the heads are very fat on my gnomes. All of these are, I think, like the same with paper strips, so it's all gonna be fine. They just might be a little tight. That was pointy, and I'm just gonna push that down like that. Okay. That is going to be great. I'm going to go ahead and we will ink-a-dink-a-do these before we put them down. How's that? We could give them some little shoes. By the end of this, I'm kind of considering making a little gnome paper doll who can kind of move around in a little forest. As I'm playing with this whole idea of gnomes, this guy could be inked in green. I think would make him look a little bit different. I'm trying to decide if I want to put some book page or something down behind them.
Now that he's dry, he seems happy.
Good. I'm sure he'll be fine, honey.
He is.
Yay.
I'll be back in a little bit.
I love you. So, we have a kitten, and he has not been on the channel yet, and his name is Burdock Root Sockville Baggins. So we call him, Crouton for short has been his most recent nickname. But there was some chili paste, chili oil that got spilt on the floor, and he stepped in it and got it all over him, and he had a bath this morning, and he was, just to get it off, and he was not happy, of course, about that. Poor little Burdock Root, but he is recovering as he dries, and he's gonna survive. And last time the cats needed baths, I wound up doing it, and I was not gonna have any of that because they, I think, are still mad at me, whereas my partner has a lot better, he also feeds the cats, so he gets forgiven a little bit easier than I do, given the fact that he is feeding them. I just get the bad rap of being that evil woman who dunked me in water and almost killed me. That's what they say. I almost killed them. So I am deciding right now as I'm going along if I'm going to ink their faces. Anyway, so he had that fun. The chili oil is cleaned up off the kitchen floor. The cats are clean and happy and recovering nicely. What do we do with the background of this? We need to add a label as well. Right? Yes. No, maybe so. Okay, I don't know. I just live here. I guess I should do something with this background. Okay, everybody move over there. Kind of invited to a tailgating party, and I don't know if we're gonna go or not. We're definitely not going to the football game after. Okay, let's think about this. I am going to, well, what I was saying is I do have some of this like tissue paper over here. I just feel like this is gonna need some kind of a background. I don't really necessarily want to cover all of that up, but I do kind of wanna add a little bit of something, so I might use up some of this tissue paper. I don't know. The other thing that you do is go small, medium, large, and put the label up above the top of the okay. I am thinking brilliantly that maybe, just maybe, we don't want to get in too far over our heads. So I'm going to glue these guys down, and I'm just going to leave the background as it is with this kind of like bohemian lace kind of a pattern And I'm just gonna leave that there, and we'll make this super kind of simple and easy, and that's just gonna be a not too intricate, not too difficult card. I am gonna ink around the edges of their faces, and I'll add a little bit of face to them. I'm gonna draw on a little face. We could do that now. Maybe before or after we add the beard. Do we want to add the face at the very last minute? Maybe not. Okay. Maybe not. What's that gonna look like? We'll have wrinkly little eyes. Okay, they'll be cute. They're gonna be cute. We're gonna do that. We're gonna get out a marker and we're gonna add faces at the very last minute. Watch this. Let's get this done. Let's get cruising here. I'm also doing I'm doing a couple of challenges. I'm doing a couple of challenges and I want to do one more. And I just started a job and I think that I am not going to be able to do all of the things that I want to do. Tough choices here. So many fun options for the Halloween. I realize that this one's going to be kind of a little bit closer. They're not going to be evenly spaced out. And you know what? I like it. I like a little asymmetry, right? We'll see if this is asymmetrical enough that it looks like it's on purpose. But, okay. So, the time has come in whether or not I can get all of the things done. I kind of need to make things a little bit simpler than I have been because, you know, I like to overcomplicate things. So now we just have to decide where exactly these heads sit. And I think since we've ripped these down, the heads can sit like on top of the shoulders. Maybe you could tear these a little bit so they look like they have chopply little... Okay. I'm gonna play it by ear. This guy's gonna sit, these two are gonna sit kind of on top, and this one's just gonna be kind of resting on there because I like that. And I say all of this like it's not going to change when I glue them down. Okay. See, it didn't. I got him right where I wanted him. I got you right where I want you, gnome. Do gnomes grant wishes or something? Maybe I should have been out there mowing. Maybe there's a garden gnome out there. Maybe I can employ him to keep my flowers blooming. And we'll put the hats on. And then we need beards, we need faces, and we need some little rosy cheeks. And then I think we're going, oh, we need a label. And we need a label. And then we need, next year when I do this, I'm going to do clusters. Yeah, that's what I say. That's what I say. I thought about doing clusters this year. I thought, wouldn't it be easy to just do clusters and you can put a label or you can make it out of tissue paper Okay. I like the tissue paper, I think, for the beards. And then I can use up some of my scraps that are sitting over here. So I think that can go for that guy. I just need one more color of something. Where did my pile of tissue paper go? Well, we'll figure this out. And in this case, well, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? I guess I could get this out and go ahead and okay. I'm really tempted to get out the medium again and put that over the top of them all together. Just because I feel like maybe that might be the easiest way. I don't know. We're gonna have to put a lot of layers on there. We can also add some maybe we should have put this guy in the blue. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, you can just have this beard coming down. Right? Yeah, they can just have it like that, right? That's a total gnome move, to keep the beard just kind of growing out of the bottom of the face. I'm sorry. The bottom of the face, yes, that's a technical beard term. Well, that's how gnomes talk about their beards, okay? But these are the bottom of the face beard gnomes. Do. How does that look over there? Crazy. I think he needs more coming out of the side of his face, though. I think he needs some, like, lamb chop kind of things coming down, right? They come down. Do. I'm building beards out of tissue paper today. And I now have glue all over my fingers. Okay. You were worried. Okay. About the ears. Well, we'll just take care of it that way. I like that. We'll give it a little bit more detail. We'll go in with like, I don't know, probably a brown colored pencil and kind of come in along here. And add a little bit of shading underneath here because he's got kind of a light beard. And that is gonna be okay. Okay, that came out, I think, really cute. I'm gonna hold this up so you can kind of see it because, oh my god, the camera is like way high. Like the camera is so high today. I think he moved things again for me. As he does. So which one do you want to be the blue gnome? With the blue beard. The blue beard gnome. We're going to go ahead and do this the same way. I might stop really briefly and just kind of, I think this guy, because this color and this color are kind of the same, and I want them to be very different values. Very different values. At this point, I still want to get out that, why not? I'm gonna go look and see if I can find, ooh, I have this tissue paper, but I think I also have just some black, but it kind of like this speckly one, so I'm going to use this for that beard. Okay. Fussy, fussy, fussy. Let's keep going. Keep it going. This is a very fussy thing. Totally paper piecing my little gnomes together. Okay. I'm gonna have to do their faces so they look jolly, right? My bag of tissue papers almost fell off of there. Okay. I feel better that I grabbed that out. And I have a plan because I wasn't sure what I was going to find in there. Had no idea if I had a color for this other beard. How is that? Okay, well it's going to be fine. No one's going to come and be like, maybe they will. Maybe they will be super hypercritical of, you know, how these beards are shaped. However, I feel like that's kind of a them problem, not a me problem. I am just having fun. Also, I mean, these are for me. Maybe I'll have a problem. I don't know. I think right now these are just for me. If anybody wants them, let me know. no, I think this is going swimmingly. This guy's beard is really about done. Oh dear. Okay. So I'm just sitting here and I am on my way to becoming a gnome beard barber. Who knew that was going to be a thing I'd be adding to my resume this this season, this fall season, but here we are. And I think I could do it. That guy has got kind of a woolly beard, and this guy's got a very blonde beard. You can barely see it. And this guy's gonna have a very black beard, and you could have anyway, let's shorten this a little bit. Shorten in pieces so he's not got a beard that's too long. Too long. Too long. And I guess we could kind of give at least some of these guys like a mustache, but these seem like the kind of gnomes that just have like the beard that's growing, like kind of an Amish beard. He does kind of have a gray hat and a gray beard, but that's just his look. And I think it's been his look for a while. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this shaped around the way I want it. Because, you know, the gnome barber's job is just never done. They're so particular about their beards. So particular. Let's pick the glue stick. Should have gotten out the... I mean, if you want to do that, Christina, you should just go ahead and do it. It's really just right there. I'm still debating on whether I want to use the matte medium to do this or not. And I keep deciding not, and I keep deciding to go with the glue stick. And it's just an ongoing conversation, which is a lot better. It's kind of keeping my mind occupied and keeping it from drifting off into other places where it'd be worse for it to go. Things we worry about. Glue choices are one of the more safe bets for things that I'm worried about right now. So I can just have a relaxing day Building beard gnome. Gnome beards. Okay. See, I mean, we could give this guy like a mustache. And then he could have little, you know, mouths down there. If that's what we decided to do. We have 2 bits. This is honestly making me happy that I don't have to worry about styling my beard every day. I have never really understood how guys do that. It's always been kind of amazing to me. Like, and now more so. I mean, how do you keep that from like sticking out too far over onto the side? How do we do that? Tuck it over there. Just like that? Okay. Okay. You want that rounded. Alright. This is happening. I have one little piece left to build on this guy's beard. Okay. There you go. There you go. Yes. Okay. So now we have our little, I feel like they're like a council of gnomes come to probably talk to me about the state of my backyard. Probably. Okay. Well, it's not my fault. I don't have time to plant the flowers because I'm busy in here building the gnome beards. What do you want from me, guys? Can't do it all. Okay. I'm gonna put that down because I feel like his beard is a little flat right there. Okay. Okay, now let's find an appropriate marker for this. We need to give our little gnomes little faces, and I found the micron pens. They were downstairs in the purse. So I'm just gonna practice kind of, I don't know, kind of want to do a little bit of a winky eye. They look like they have eyelashes rather than wrinkles here. And I think that will be a super cute face for these, and just kind of simple. Simple, very cute, winky little face, and I think that will be adorable. This paper actually has a little bit of just a watercolor mark on it, which is actually super cute. I'm just practicing. I want to see how this pen is gonna, if it's the right size. cuter for the eyes. Somehow. All right, we're doing this. Should just take a picture and transfer it on there somehow. So we're gonna put the nose right there. We're gonna do all the noses. Okay. Okay. And again, I mean, I'm kind of being a little bit particular, but this isn't going to really matter too much. I guess it's like the most important part. Got kind of a dimples. His merry little cheeks. He's cute. Okay. These are very chatty little gnomes. I think they have cute little faces. They have super cute little faces. Okay. A little bit of wrinkles, and I'm gonna come in, and what I did want to do is just a tiny little bit of pink cheeks. And this is just a water soluble crayon, and I'm gonna pick up a little bit of this, just a little bit. And now that I've sprayed it, and I'm going to give them just a little touch of a pink cheek. And then I'm going to call these guys done. And that's all I'm going to do. Oh, I have to add a label, and I'm going to give them a little bit of a nose. And maybe just a little bit. Just a little bit. A little nose. Okay? And they're cute. They are. And this guy needs a little bit of help with his beard. I'm just gonna come in and make it a little bit more brown with a little bit of shading. He's got a very bushy beard here, and he needs just a little bit of a color job. Just a tiny bit. And I'm going to go back in with that same brush and just kind of fill that in. And the other thing I could do is just add a little bit of like colored pencil shading. And this is actually kind of a purple color, but it's dark and it'll add a little bit of um, shadow under his head and around. A little need to be shadow. Kind of blend that in so it looks like there's a little bit more contrast. Not perfect, just a little bit. He really does have a very full bushy beard here. It's just very blonde. Just a very blonde gnome. Okay, well. So we need some sort of a label going on here. So I dug out a few things that I have that kind of go with this. And I found back to these little sayings, and I think I'm going to put this on here that says, be silly, be honest, be kind. And we have our 3 little gnomes, and maybe they're holding up their little, you know, label. We're going to call this a label. This is a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote, I guess. So maybe this is silly, honest, and kind. We've kind of lapsed into the these would, he could have used these to make the gnomes on this, or you could have used a tag. What if you had just a tag? They would make a great body for, you know, a gnome. Okay. Anyway, I'm so excited to just be making all of these gnomes. Okay, I don't know. Great. Fun stuff. For sure. I'm gonna go ahead and keep the gnome theme going. I don't know. Okay. Why not? Once you get going, you might as well use it. Okay. So we have silly, honest, and kind. These 3 gnomes who have shown up on our desk today. I think they're adorable. In order to make this into a journaling card, I need to find something to put on the back of them. Way to go. Let's try it again. There we go. That's what I wanted. Like that. Like a little fishtail prize ribbon. And I guess we can do the other one too. Let's think about it. And these aren't like necessarily going to be super even or anything. And I think that is just part of the charmingness of this. So I'm gonna do this and this. So I got my little cluster anyway in there. That's my label. the other label. The other label is, of course, I don't know. I mean, are these labels? Yes. Mushrooms. I could have done something that was a little more label centric, but I guess I'm kind of doing what I want to do. Don't you knock everything off of there. So there's that big stink bug that's been flying around, and now the cat's come up and she has honed in on that, which is good because so I think that is going to be my card. That is label. It is a journaling card, and we have these 3 gnomes holding up their little sign, which is also a kind of a label. So that's label, and it also has tissue paper in case, you know, I didn't have enough. So label and tissue paper. There it goes. That is very bright coming in and out of the window, so it's just going to kind of wash everything out. So I love that. And this is tissue paper, journaling card, number 9 and 10. Gnomes, and they're super cute and super fun, and I hope you enjoyed being here today. I am super happy to be participating in this challenge and having a lot of fun doing it and playing with, like, you know, little gnomes and figuring out how to do different things. And I hope you'll join me next time, and thank you to Amy. Please check out her hashtag 50 Stack Challenge 7, see what everybody else is doing, and as well as leave me a comment. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please, I invite you to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified when I post, and I will see you next time for next week, and there will be 2 new prompts and 2 new journal cards. I'm looking forward to it, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.